Hey guys, welcome back. I am doing another quick review of the Masterverse Revelations from Mattel. This is the Princess of Power 40th anniversary, I believe. This is also She-Ra. Um, let's see. Well, accessories. It comes with her power sword. Comes with an alternate head. Huh. I might try this on later on, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna display this on her. I would have been just as happy if this helmet just flipped up, I think. But or clip on. It's almost the same styling of the hair. Um, Comes with a shield, an extra set of hands, closed fisted, I believe. And a different cape with some sort of shoulder armor style. Very nice. So obviously this is the more traditional look of She-Ra. I'm not much into the Princess of Power when it first came up. Obviously, I was more into the Masters of the Universe He-Man, but I do recognize that she is part of the universe, and I'm interested to see what would happen if she is going to be brought into the Kevin Smith cartoon. Articulation wise, because of the long hair and stiff hair, the head is very, very limited in terms of articulation. The joint in the upper torso is moving, but it seems kind of not all too useful. See how it tends to fight, and some of the Masterverse universe does tend to do that. Shoulders goes up and down, bicep, double jointed elbows, usual Masterverse stuff. I'm happily that the Mattel finally caught up with the type of articulation that Hasbro does. Even better because they don't have any pins on these figures. So unlike the Hasbro, there's because it's been here for so long that it's a combination of pinned and pinless joints. Even the ankles don't have pins. It's very nice. Nice deco on the boots. The paint is done well enough. It's the usual toy gold painting, but I'm happy with that. As I'm a collector, this part of my collection is just for toys, so there's a certain expectations that a toy demands rather than if it was a collector of masterpiece Transformers or Hot Toys. So for this type, I'm happy with the paint and what we're getting so far. Now, design-wise, there's something strange that's really bothering me when it comes to the placement of the head relative to the body. It seems the head sits a little too short for my liking. And then the swivel on the breast and her her abdomen seems like it should be more like that. But if you do that, then she seems like she's leaning back. So it's kind of hard to describe what I think might be wrong with it. Let's see if I could do this on camera. I'm gonna take this off. I did try to see what it would look like if I were to just sit the head just too high, slowly sit the head into this ball joint so I could see if I can produce a longer neck, but it it's right at that tip before it plugs into the ball socket, because that I think is a little too high. But if you just push just a little bit down where it needs to be, the ball peg snaps in. Let me see. That's slightly better. Take off. Here's your power source too. It's kind of nice. It has that translucent blue plastic in the middle, right? You can see the light shining through it. So I wonder if this whole thing is translucent plastic and then painted silver. I'm being very careful not to bend this plastic. Oh my gosh. So many shearers and swords that are bent. What do you think? Does that look a little bit better? Her neck's a little bit longer, maybe? Oh, that's still too off. And I don't know why. So, I just think she's too squashed in. And in order for me to fix it to make it look better. Okay, so the torso looks better like this. But she still looks like she's her head sits too low, and then her side stance is going to be like that. Interesting deco on the gauntlet. Let me put on the second design of the shoulder armor and the secondary head. Oh, this is interesting. It hasn't popped in completely yet, I know, because I haven't felt it. But that seems a little bit better in terms of how it sits, right? But the head is not completely in yet. So if I push it in, maybe it is. You know what? I might actually display her like this, even though it's not her usual look, just because it fixes the proportion of the whole figure. I mean, what do you think, guys? I mean, like, once you get yours in, if you did decide to get it, I think you'll see what I mean by how it strikes you off a little bit. I think that proportionally seems better. Now, I did try this before with a combination, right? So, and maybe I could plug something into the top part of the head. Now, see, it's kind of weird. I'm not sure if you can tell, but this head definitely sits a little bit lower than this one, because this version looks better with this shoulder armor, because I believe the armor is getting enough attention that it disperses the fact that this is too short. There's enough concentration in the armor that it seems to kind of make it go higher. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense. Because the armor's there, your eye no longer concentrates so much on the distance between the breasts and her chin that's making her look stumpy, right? That's what I think. I'm sorry if I'm jiggling the camera, but the cable's in the way. Anyway, this shoulder pad does bring a little bit of interesting design changes. So I think if I had a choice, well, I do have a choice. I'm not gonna use this. It's too simple anyway. It's making her look stumpy. This is a good middle ground between using this head and this one. What can I Let's see. Anyway, that's it for the review. Um, let me change the camera angle and see if there really is a difference in terms of the height placement of the head if you were to combine the other one. So I will be right back and I'll just splice this together. Okay, so I was just really curious to see how it looks. So I'm using this mat that has the grid. Let's see. So as you can see, this is at the bottom feet. It is exactly on the line, and you'll see that it just about hits. I'm just gonna put this marker here. With this, it almost hits this line, right? So let me replace this head. Do you see the difference now? It looks better. It's just a smidge because now it's hitting the line. Whereas before, the head was around here, right? And this is already plugged in. See? That's why with this particular headpiece, it looks better. I'm not sure. I think a good way to fix it is to put something inside this bowl cavity so it's not completely gonna go in there. Like a piece of plastic. So I really would rather prefer the original head than this one. Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean, but it's so small that it's so small that it's almost imperceptible. But there was just something that was throwing me off. So give me 1 second while I do something. A little bit of sliver of a plastic that's almost the same height. A little bit of a nipper. Let's see. Just something like this. Too much. So I'm just gonna drop it into that ball socket. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Get this off now. So I have to do this off camera because I need to make sure that it sits there. Still a little bit shorter, but definitely higher. So I'm let me see, just to see, because now the armor, the shoulder armor is not showing it off. I'll put the original cape that it's supposed to go with. Because the armor is not adding to the height, so it's just the illusion of it makes it seem like it. Look at that. Okay, so that's almost the same height as the other head. And I'm not sure. I mean, you guys will have to decide when you get it. It seems better. This torso is just so something about this. The stance on the side is just the way it's designed. So with this one, you can probably see the gap. You can almost see the ball joint up there. It's not completely sitting flush because of what I did, but it's not popping in completely. So this probably pulls off easier than it would have originally, but it's still there. Okay, so I put it up like that, so she's not like crouched over. Oh, I did notice that the paint, there's slight difference between the white paint of the breast and the rest of the plastic. So I think this is just regular white. This is just regular plastic. This one's painted over, so you do see a difference. Okay, so this is with that small piece of plastic, trying to get the right angle so you guys can see. I think that looks much better. Right, so let me see. I'm gonna try to align her shoulder to her neck. Use this as some sort of, okay, look at the distance between this line and that, the marker. I'm gonna take off the filler. And I'm not gonna glue this in because I don't want to make it permanent. I might later. I'm not sure. Okay, going back to that line again. All right. See the difference? It's very, very minimal, but it is shorter. And now you're gonna look at it again and like, right? It makes a difference. So if you, and this is not a permanent change, so if you guys want to mess around with it, it's very small. You just plop it in there, so you don't need to make a permanent change. I'm not even gonna put the cape on so you guys can see right off. And it's stuck in there, but I think if you keep moving the head around, it might pop off, but it's still stuck in there. Look at that. Yeah, much better. Much better. The other thing too, before I forget, this is probably just gonna be in my copy, but you're gonna see the small gap. I'm not really a picky collector. This is acceptable for me because I almost can't see it. This is just, it just comes off too visible. I've tried pushing it in. You can push it in, but because the way the plastic sits, it just pushes itself out. So I hope that's just in my copy and your copy is good. Thank you for watching. I hope that small mod makes sense to you and helps you guys out. And stick around for more reviews. I will see you guys later. Bye.